evening and welcome to Enterprise at 8. This is the Thanksgiving special, at least Thanksgiving for Canada. I'm thankful that all of you are here. What about you guys? You thankful for anything?
I'm very thankful.
Okay, good. Anyway, it's Monday, which also means it's time for Enterprise at 8, but at 9 today. So it really doesn't rhyme as well. So I guess we'll have to figure something else out. Anyway, this is Live Long and Podcast Star Trek Enterprise Rewatch series. It's been about 20 years since tonight's episode. See, I just jumped
20 years? I got it right on time.
Anyway.
That was the best in weeks. I will not.
That wasn't right on time, but anyway. Since tonight's episode, Judgment first aired, but we're just getting started here at Enterprise at 8. I'm Jody Simpson, and along with me is the man who spent too much time in the law library and not enough on the battlefield, Adam Woodward.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving, guys.
You as well.
Thank you.
All right. And of course, Adam and I are joined by some awesome panelists. Tonight, joining us is Live Long and Podcast awesome producer and the man who runs on dilithium, not talk, Dave Mader. I don't think that's true. It should have been the other way around.
That's right. Anyway. I am one of those courageous few that will stand up and bring justice and honor back to the Empire. That's my true goal, Jody.
Dave may have gotten to a little bit of the jazz cabbage. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah,
anyway.
It's quite possible. It's a holiday.
It is a
celebration.
Plus, it's also legal in this country. So there you go. And who can, of course, forget the man who says you shouldn't feel badly if you can't stomach blood wine or Captain Archer, Kevin Millard.
Hello. Captain Archer, not too bad in this one.
No.
I'm coming around, Captain Archer, guys.
I'm coming around on all of it, apparently.
And as I said, this is tonight's episode, which is named Judgment. This is the 40th. I have 44'd, so obviously my script is wrong. The 44th episode of the series. This episode is about Archer is charged by a Klingon tribunal for helping rebels try to escape the Empire. Yep, that's about it. Do you like Star Trek 6, guys?
I love Star Trek 6, Jody.
Then you're going to love this episode.
Yeah.
That's basically what this episode is.
It even had the sparks, Jody. That glove.
It even had the... I love that part. I think it's probably the same glove.
Expedition of Kirk. We demand
justice!
Oh,
justice! It was so good.
I like whenever all of a sudden, like, something happens and, like, Adam just goes, like, off. He's gone.
Adam gets it, Jody. He really gets it. It's like
he just loves it. He loves it so much he's elevated.
I love it. I love it, Dave.
Well, I have bad news for you because next week's episode ain't that great.
Let's just get through this one tonight, guys.
But this one's good.
Let's just talk about it.
All right,
here. The strike.
Klingons love soccer balls.
This was Rurapente all over again, but it was like a slow motion version. It was more of a courtroom drama. There was almost a Matlock version. It was the Matlock version of Rurapente.
It was the Murder, She Wrote version of it.
You had the prosecutor with a conscience.
Right.
Yes.
But like Archer in the prison. This was great. This set was amazing. I loved it. Every bit of it.
Yeah, they did a good job with this. I'm sure some of it's recycled from something else, but
Kevin, how did you feel about this watching this?
I liked it. I thought it was great. It took me back to Star Trek 6. It's very good.
Yeah, the only thing we didn't have is like the universal translator in the ear thing. But so obviously technology has caught up somehow.
You know what my favorite scene in that movie was in the courtroom is when McCoy thought he made a joke and he starts looking up.
Yeah, he starts
and laughing.
Just like,
yeah, he's like, "You have a singular wit, doctor."
Yeah,
he's like.
Anyway, yeah, it's very. I think the open here is kind of gets to the point. Archer's on trial. That's all you really need to know. He's on trial, and the Klingons have put him on trial.
It's a good start.
And now we have
a good start.
Yeah.
What do you think of the shots of Kronos we got to see here? It was really, I thought, awesome. Like all these
walking people were actually not bad. I know, Dave. That's the thing that you really hate.
No, it's me.
The CG. Is it you? The CG.
I hate the walkers.
Yeah,
but look at this.
I thought we're okay.
Look at this scenery. It's amazing.
Yeah, but see, this is very different from Next Gen, where it was always dark and orangish.
Well,
it just so happens that the Next Gen crew always showed up when it was nighttime.
Maybe
it's just what it is. Yeah.
Sometimes on Kronos, it's nice.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I don't know if that's necessarily nice, but it's viewable.
Nice for Klingons.
Nice for Klingons, maybe. Yes.
Nice for
I liked it.
Klingons.
I liked it.
Yeah,
It's good.
I thought the scenery was cool. Yeah.
You know, and here it's less hospitable.
This is pretty much the most boring part of the
Well, it
whole
is the
thing.
jail, Dave.
Well, it
Yeah.
isn't though, because we get to see Phlox here.
Well, that's true. We do get Phlox, yeah. So basically, he comes in and he's like, "Yeah." They basically convince the Klingons that he's got some sort of communicatable disease, and somebody has to come down. Which probably at this point in his life probably isn't that far of a stretch. But anyway, so yeah. So basically,
I do
he's
like that the Klingon is like, is he contagious? And he's like, no. He goes, then get out, go back to your ship.
Yeah,
You're not here to treat him.
yeah, you're not here for fun.
But he
I
scans.
love this thing though. He's like,
Scans
it's
the
very
meat.
high in protein. It might not be too hospitable to look at.
I just as you eat it.
Eat it.
But then we meet his lawyer.
Now, the Klingons, I guess we're going to have to figure that out because I think a lot of the people that played Klingons in this episode we've seen before.
Well, obviously, the lawyer is J.G. Hertzler, which is like Martok.
Yeah. Martok.
You know, we share the same birthday, me and Martok.
Do you?
J.G. Hertzler.
You sell... Oh, okay. I thought you meant...
Along
like,
with Vanessa Williams.
Oh, well, that's icing on the cake right there, Dave.
Anyway. Power.
The jazz cabbage. All right. Anyway, let's keep going here. I like the sets. I thought even the background characters and everybody, they did a great job on everybody. This was like a top-notch episode, I thought. So I like the well, what do we call him? He's not the chancellor. He's the
what is he? The advocate is the judge. Or sorry, the lawyer.
Yeah, the
He's
judge,
magistrate or something.
Magistrate or something.
Magistrate,
yeah,
and there's the arbiters.
Yeah, I like I liked everything about this. Like, this was just really well done. I don't think that they went too far. The only thing that sucks about this episode, as far as I'm concerned, is the ending's fast.
So wait a second. Have they told us why he's here yet? Are we there yet?
I think we are just about to find out. Because he's like, you're charged with helping blah 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 so and so, and he's like, yeah, but they just needed food, and we were just trying to be nice to them and blah blah blah. But Davin says, great episode.
It's also awesome that Archer, even though he's standing, he's put into a little cage so he can't walk around.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Davin got it.
Yes, he was actually still. That's why I liked it so much.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's get.
Just superb episode overall. It's hard to find anything bad about this episode, honestly. Maybe more Phlox would have been nice.
I can point something out when we get to it.
Okay. Well, I'll be waiting for that.
Yes.
But basically, we find out the reason why is because he ran across the ship. Actually, no, they don't even tell you at this point because you get the recollection based on the Klingon side of things, which is like Archer's on the Enterprise battleship and all this.
This is one of those.
Duras. What do you guys think about it being Duras?
Hold on a second before we get there. But this is like one of those episodes where you open up with sort of what's happening now, and you got to fill the back in. And I like those the back. 2 days later or 2 days before or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't think they did such a good. I'm still hazy on exactly what he did, but I don't think it matters that much.
He helped.
He
people
meddled,
that were part
and
of the
they
Empire.
didn't enjoy that.
Yeah, because the people that were leaving to defect from the Empire.
Yeah,
and he happened to come across their ship that was about to die, and he helped them live essentially. So
I actually love the Klingons version of Archer. Death to the Empire.
Where he's like standing up tall and he's got broad shoulders going.
Yeah,
and
the battle cruiser Enterprise.
This is Captain Archer for the battle cruiser.
He's like, I don't care what you think, Klingons. We're gonna do it anyway. He's like, you defy the Empire. He's like, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
I'm just a bad boy. I'm an Imperial bad boy. You can't stop me.
I'm just a bad boy. I'm Archer.
Yeah, that's how they see him, right?
Really
and then they're just like, well, this guy was demoted from captain to weapons officer for being a schmuck.
And then being Duras was a nice touch.
It was a nice.
The Duras was a nice touch, yeah, for sure.
And his ship.
Yep.
What was his ship's name?
The Borat, wasn't it?
The-
Hold on a second. I read all about it.
Yeah, it's something like that.
It was a nod to Next Gen.
Yeah, it was.
No, the Bortas, the IKS Bortas.
Bortas, there it is.
Yeah.
But I like even like, you know, Archer fired first and all this stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, Archer just fires first all the time, and you know,
Yeah, death to the Empire.
death to the Empire. Yeah.
This is cool watching these ships battle. Actually, I thought.
Yeah. The Enterprise looks very cool there. Like it really looks excellent.
It's one thing that they consistently did well in this show was the representation of the ship. The ship is a character, and you know every Star Trek that had to involve moving, even with DS9, like obviously the station was the character, and then the Defiant was the character, and as well. So it's nice to see that they did that, and the amount of callouts that this show does to the other ones is always interesting.
I always like how Star Trek captains are always trying to put, you know, their enemies when they have an advantage on the same playing level. Let's go into the nebula, or let's blow up this, and they, you know, we'll have no sensors for, you know, 2 minutes. Everybody's on the same playing field.
Yeah.
Right.
Never understood that logic, but all right, we'll go with it.
Commander, I said launch torpedoes.
Launch torpedoes. There you go. But yeah, basically we get this false recollection of what actually happened based on Duras's retelling.
We get two versions of the event. There's similarities in both versions, but
there is, but only if they're convenient to the party that's telling the story.
Right.
But you know, which is kind of interesting. So
yeah, obviously Enterprise never really fired upon them like in this way.
Oh, we have to take this comment. Should I dress up as a Starfleet officer for Halloween? 100%.
Sure.
Yes, do it for
Answer
sure.
yes.
And shoot
Why
us a
would
picture.
we tell you no?
Yeah, we're not gonna tell you no. Come on.
No.
Now, if you wanted to dress up an Archer, maybe we would say no.
Not that. Okay,
I'm
Archer's
pretty
the
sure
harder
Dave
one.
dresses up for Tuesday.
Sure, I might dress up like that tomorrow.
Yep, you might.
So
The fact that Dave doesn't have a hat on is.
I went
very
hatless
incredible.
today just to show
Yeah.
off my cowlick.
Yeah,
So-
cool. All right. Yeah, so basically, like, we get the impression that essentially nothing's going to go right for this. Like, it doesn't matter. Archer's screwed because, like, they're not interested in looking for justice. They're just interested in basically just getting rid of him.
Yeah, it's almost like, didn't you feel like, why even bother? Like at the beginning of this court scene.
Well, and that's kind of the whole. Yeah, but that was even kind of the thing, even in Star Trek 6, when you remember that.
It's
Like
a
how are they
Cardassian
going through the
court.
process? Yeah.
Exactly, Kevin. It's
Sorry, I missed what Kevin said.
Oh, it's like a Cardassian court.
Yes. Yeah, very much. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much like that. The subtleties are just a little bit more brutal, I guess, in the Klingon
Yeah.
version.
Yeah.
In the punishments.
I like how they were yelling at him like enemy, and stuff like that. I thought that was kind of neat.
and who's the jury? There's no jury. There's no jury.
It's just this guy.
There's just this guy, you know, the guy with the soccer ball, the steel
So
soccer ball.
that is like that whole thing is just like one unit,
it's
right?
one big glove with the thing attached. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I want one
Yeah,
of
it's
those.
very cool. Very cool. But it's the same thing that was in
Yes,
6,
it is.
wasn't it? It's
Don't
like
forget
literally
the pain
the same design.
sticks.
Pain sticks, yeah.
Yeah, I like how they brought out the pain sticks. I thought that was cool. We don't get enough pain sticks in Star Trek, for sure.
I love the peanut gallery though. They're all laughing, eh?
Yeah, they're like, fry him again.
That's right. Hurt him.
Yeah, hurt him harder. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I just
your
love
target
the terrible
leg.
looking prep. Yeah. What was this? This was
leg.
couldn't understand what he was saying.
Targ leg.
Oh, Targ leg. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then his lawyer comes back in, has another chat with him about honor and the. Are we here yet? Is this the scene where he's talking about his family?
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
he's, you know, we're not all warrior class. I thought this was a very interesting insight
This was
into
This was
into
a
the
great
Klingon
look into
world.
them. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because
like one of the where they really kind of start to connect with each other.
yeah, but for us though, as viewers, we don't
hear about that.
We don't hear about the other classes. It's only
like
ever
the warrior class is all we really know, right?
Right. Really,
This guy is
Worf from
lamenting
the other
a time gone by when they weren't just warriors. Like when I love when he's talking about how, you know, everybody's out there now trying to grab honor by killing people that are weaker than them, and that's not how Klingon society used to be. It was a really cool look.
It's funny how that mirrors real life in some ways, huh?
He talks about his like the quote was my father was a teacher, my mother was a biologist at the university. Like you never hear about they have education, honestly. I mean, they encouraged me to take up the law. Now all young people want to do is take up weapons, and as soon as they can hold them, they're told there's honor in victory, any victory.
Sorry, we never see any of that except in Deep Space Nine, the Klingon restaurant guy.
Yes,
but you never see any of that out of Klingons. It's all military. But you know they must have education and
scientists,
culture, and like they have to.
It doesn't make sense for them not to, but we never see it, right? Like it's never mentioned. We never really see it.
I love this, actually. I think this is, even when you see, when you like in the episodes Next Gen, when they were talking about the Civil War and they talk about Kimpek, and Kimpek had a past, and it wasn't, we didn't get into that enough. I would have loved more of that, I think.
What's really interesting too for me is like that in Undiscovered Country is that Kirk's advocate is Colonel Worf, which is like the grandfather of Worf, right? And the fact that he's like is he not the warrior class then? Is he actually in like the?
Well, he's got the designation of colonel, so you think he might be, but maybe because it was a military tribunal or something like that. I don't know.
Okay, so it's more of a court martial.
Well, if he was if he was colonel, then he would have to be in some sort of military presence of some sort. But he could be in like a division that the law division.
But this guy that
like
hurts
the Jag version. Yeah.
This guy that Hurso's playing is not a military guy.
No, he's a lawyer essentially.
But even with like Chancellor Gorkin, I got the sense he was more of a politician, more of a peacemaker and things like that too. I don't think he was ruled by his military advisors for sure, but I don't think he had that.
Well, I think this is the structure of essentially the military actually run the government, and then you have all the branches below it that do the other things like that.
Anyway, it was really cool to see this part of the Klingon world.
I thought so too.
And the fact that he felt that they've got too far away from it, and they've got away from their true greatness, I guess. Yeah, as a culture.
Kolos, this guy's name was, right?
Kolos, yeah.
Kolos, yeah.
So back to the trial, and then smashing that thing down.
Love those sparks.
Fucking sparks, Jesus.
Yeah.
He was going to town on that thing.
Wonder if I could buy one of those things.
Oh, definitely. We should.
This is where Kolos comes to life, right? Where
imagine doing the Locutors of Trek. What's
Debates 9?
Yeah, Debates 9 with that thing.
That'd be awesome. Davin, you need one.
Yeah, Davin, if you're watching, you better get on Etsy and figure that one out.
Or Trivial Debates, whoever is. I've ruled.
This is my ruling.
That's right. I love it.
Yeah, so basically Archer kind of he's basically saying, like, well, let me tell you my side of the story, and everybody's just like, it's irrelevant. It's like, oh. But then they eventually let him tell it, right?
We do get this version of it.
And the other reason why we got this was so we could get everybody a little bit of screen time.
Really, this is the truth.
Yeah.
This is what actually happened.
Yeah, even that guy looks familiar.
Let me find out about him.
Anyway, I'm sure it'll come up eventually. That's one thing that Enterprise wasn't short of is people who have been in other Star Trek shows. So it probably has the most guest stars out of anybody. Probably, maybe DS9 might be close to that too. But yeah. So anyway, basically, Archer gets to tell his version of the story. Which you want to slow down there, bud? All right. Dave's just like, I'm just watching the whole episode. Anyway, he gets
you tell me when you want.
This is fine right here. This is fine. So basically, they figure out that, oh, well, these people there was what, I think 74 or something like that going out, people, and then now there's only 24 of them or something, of the survivors of that ship.
Hey guys, what did I miss here? Because when his advocate came in and he was talking to Colos came in and he was talking to me about, you can't say anything. I talk for you. That's that. How did Archer end up talking? I think I may have stepped out of the room or something happened here.
He just basically just interrupted and started talking. And then the advocate said to him, let's tell his side of the story kind of thing. And they're like, no, we don't want to hear it. And he's like, well,
there was time in between those two things. And the advocate, invoked some statute from the past that allowed him,
right. Yes, okay.
Yeah. That allowed him to actually mount a defense.
Yeah, something that they don't use much anymore, but
they don't.
It was still allowable.
Anyway, it was critical to the story, which was great. So,
you go forward now, Dave.
Yep.
Oh, just let me know. Then this guy comes up and he makes this face, right? And then,
Dave spent half an hour trying to get the right screenshot for this. I'm sure
I did. I worked hard at it. And then
isn't this Duras? Was that him?
No, it's this other guy. It's this prosecutor Orak.
Right.
Yeah, he's the guy that's actually prosecuting.
Daniel Riordan played him.
Yeah, I don't know.
You do recognize him, right, Dave?
He's an American voice actor and actor. He is best known for providing the voice of Aiden, the main antagonist of the Elder Scrolls.
Oh, I played the Elder Scrolls. Wouldn't have put the two together, but anyway.
No, I'm not familiar.
I thought that was Lesket. Look at his face.
Sparky. All right. So now we're back into the Enterprise and they're recounting what was going on. And I can't remember what this conversation's about, quite honestly. Oh, they're talking about what they're going to do.
She was like, you have no choice but to do this, basically, is what is kind of the point.
Well, she basically said she already went ahead and did it or something.
Yeah, she's like your choice was
to arrange quarters for everybody.
The choice was to maroon these people or to help them. So
give them.
I've already done this, and she basically said, "I've already acted on your orders. I knew you were going to order this. Yes, we have no choice." Right. Yeah. And he seemed a little pissed off, honestly. But then I think he
seemed a little pissed off, but I think he also realized, that was really the only choice they had.
He's sort of realizing, she's starting to get me.
Yeah. She's starting to figure out that she really is my second hand. Yeah.
She's a step ahead of me, and I don't like that. I've got to figure this out.
But again, she demonstrates true leadership versus Trip, who just, well, what are we going to do now? We can't leave the captain.
Did we even see Trip in this episode?
Oh, we see him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember. Okay, yeah.
He's like, how dare you say we're not going on a rescue mission? Well, we're here on Klingon orbit.
Yeah.
Where they could completely blow us out of the sky.
But I like the fact that they basically said the only reason why they're even allowed there is because they're allowing it until he's been prosecuted or something. And then they have to leave. They don't even get a choice.
This time period, the Klingons ships are much more. They have a much bigger fleet. They're much more powerful than Earth.
She's also
well, that was even from the original series, right?
Yeah,
the original series, the Klingons were much bigger.
Well, the Klingons kind of digress, right? Where they get less powerful over time. Where their technology.
Well, I don't know if they get less powerful, but I think they get more enemies.
Well, everyone catches up to them technologically. Yeah. It's what
they
happens.
They have a lot to deal with. Praxis explodes. They got the internal crisis with Chancellor Gorkin dying. There's lots going on.
Yeah, that's true. Mind you, that doesn't happen for another.
But for over 200 years, they don't change that much.
No.
Really?
Which is good though when you think about it, because if they are a warrior race, they're not going to change much.
And the other thing that was interesting here too is when T'Pol's talking about Starfleet and the Vulcan High Command is putting pressure on the Klingons to release him, and you don't hear that often where the High Command works in Archer's favor, usually working against him.
Worf is in Picard season 3. That is true.
We saw that trailer.
I did see that trailer. I'm interested what they're doing with Moriarty, but that's about it.
Yeah, you should be Gilligan. I think that's a
great idea. And take a picture.
I'll be your skipper.
Dave wants to be your skipper.
Gilligan in space.
Gilligan in space. There
Gets
you go.
stranded in space.
Don't give the Star Trek people any ideas.
Gilligan 2022.
Adam would be a professor.
I'd be the professor. Good. Okay, let's go. What else we got going on here?
We're like, should we let Dave keep going off track,
No.
or should we just keep going here? All right.
They were figuring out stuff. They were like, we're going to get a torpedo going. Malcolm Reed's like, how long do I have? He was like, 2 seconds. He was like, I'll do it.
7 minutes. He had 7 minutes.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I loved it. It was like Malcolm Reed was badass in this whole scene. In this recounting of Archer. Archer was completely playing him up. There's no way it was this awesome in the real version.
No, because Archer loves Malcolm. He
That's
would have.
true. Archer does.
Otherwise, he
And
would have left him on the hull of that ship in Minefield, which he should have done.
You only know that from watching this show. Like us, like watching this week to week. We could really pick up on the nuance of like, yeah, he's bullshitting here. He was not this cool.
Malcolm isn't this cool.
Yeah,
Come
like
on.
Archer is embellishing this. Like, because we saw the embellishment of like the Klingon version where they're like, Archer's like, I don't care about your rebellion. I'm going to take these rebels or whatever.
In reality, Malcolm just peed in his pants.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do? Let me go find another way to kill myself.
We need
Yeah,
you
he
to
was
go down
more
to the
like-
surface. We need you to go down to the surface, Malcolm. Is there
He was
pineapple here?
he was kind of melancholy about his own mortality in reality is kind of what happened here.
They should have just let the mine blow him up.
But back to reality.
You know what? You could patch a ship, but Malcolm, that's a problem.
So, yeah.
Oh, we get this version too, right? Where
I do go back to this for a second. I love the lighting. It reminds me so much of original series, the lighting on this one. It's like where, you got lots of reds and purples. Oh, I love it.
Oh, yeah. On the Klingon version.
Even the dubious eyes, like the way that the guy's just got this like blank, like 40-yard stare on him. I love it.
So, guys, here's a question: in the world of the Prime Directive, would he be able to do this?
In the world of the Prime, well, it doesn't really apply in the Prime Directive in the situation.
Well, yeah, that's a hard one actually because
as I said, I think he could because they asked for help.
Yeah, if they asked for help, I would say
the Prime Directive only applied to pre-war.
I think this comes down to a technicality because there's not a standing.
That's
like
true. Actually, he's right. It is a pre-war law.
But this isn't like there's no standing treaty like between Earth and the Klingon Empire about anybody they happen to come across.
The Prime Directive doesn't even exist in this show technically, so
no, it doesn't.
But I think that there's a diplomatic case.
True, but it's Archer deciding when he intervenes and when he doesn't.
Yeah,
true.
But that is the basis for the Prime Directive eventually.
Yeah.
At this time, it's Archer's law in space. That's it.
Yeah, Archer's like,
the only law is Archer's law. Baby.
Even Admiral Forrest bows to Archer's law.
Admiral Forrest is just like, you're out there.
You're out there.
I don't know, John. I don't know what to say.
You're making the decisions. You're on the front line.
You're out there. You're out there looking like the comments. I'm not.
Yeah. True.
Oh,
look at that. That's a great screenshot. That's so old school Star Trek. I love it.
I like his female first officer too. There, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, she's pretty bitchy too. But this is the space scenes are great. I think they did a great job with all the space scenes.
Yep.
It's funny how well they render.
This episode is amazing. Really, the action's great. It feels awesome. The show is underrated. I'm going to admit it now.
Uh-oh.
I'm coming out right on the record
Dave's been
tonight.
drinking.
I'm not ready to go that far. We'll see. It's only been a few episodes, Dave. We'll see.
But I know it's gonna get better, and I feel like this is the time it got better.
I'm
And
gonna
like,
tell you right now, next week is gonna be a disappointment.
Come on, let's just keep going on this one, Jody. This is we're in this one.
This episode, Judgment,
Enjoy
is
it while
really
it's
really
good.
good. Like it's got everything you ever want. It's got courtroom drama. It's got Matlock. It's got
barely any
space
Mayweather.
battles. It's got Klingon drama. It's got all kinds of amazing stuff. It's got these old guys growling at each other and making faces.
It's got Wall.
What else could you want from a TV show?
I can't think of anything, Dave.
Less Malcolm.
Less Malcolm. Yeah, that'd be good.
Like, given though, like compared to Star Trek 6, Undiscovered Country, it does feel like the sort of discount TV version of that.
Well, yes,
I would
I'm
say
sure
just
it was made on a
TV
much
version.
different budget.
It's not even discount.
It's just the TV version. Yeah.
It doesn't feel as cinematic. It doesn't feel.
I did like this scene though. I like the kind of like the camaraderie between the two.
When they were drinking the blood wine.
Yeah, I love the blood. What's this? What's this the blood of? And he's like, oh, people just can't stomach it. And he's like, takes another swig, and then they never actually say what it is. But
they never tell us. He doesn't even really say if it's the blood of anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
not.
blood wine doesn't necessarily mean it is actually made out of blood. It could be.
He doesn't deny it though.
You know, this scene here is like, you know, everybody sees that face and you know what he's battling is that, I gotta control the puke. I gotta control the puke.
Yeah. But he's got that. Like even that screenshot there
in front of this Klingon.
It's like, I gotta be a man.
Go back to that face. Not that one. Keep two back or so.
Keep going. Back.
That
Yeah.
one. No,
Yeah, that one. That one's in between the. Which
not
end
it,
is it going
'cause-
to come out of?
No. He doesn't have a backdrop when he's drinking it.
Oh, keep going back. Keep going.
Where they're drinking. There it is.
There it is.
That's
He's got that that look when people have the flu where they're like, which hole is it going to come out?
Or you're hungover and you don't want to puke and you get that.
Yeah, you're like, I will not puke. I will not puke. I will not. Puke.
You're just trying to steady yourself for that short walk to the bathroom.
Yeah. That's what that is right there. He's just like, oh God, do you think I can make it?
Between the tart,
And he's
and
like,
the
I'll
blood-
have another one. I don't want to look like a pussy. Like, I don't want to be like Malcolm here. That's why Archer likes Malcolm so much, because Malcolm makes him look great.
That's true. I will agree with that. Back to the trial.
That
Archer
fucking
was having a rough
gavel is
day.
just badass, though. That gavel is so badass.
Mhm.
This was fun.
It was just a fun episode. Yeah, I agree.
Like everything about this was really entertaining.
I thought all the characters were just a little overdone, which I liked, because
But
I think
his-
Star Trek, though.
So you're talking about his courtroom drama, Dave. I think the advocate there is awesome when he does that final speech.
yes, the final speech is great.
Here's a guy who has like actually supported us. He rescued a ship. He's helped our culture. He's helped and then you guys are going to just send him to death. Nice.
Yeah.
That's
You're not going to kill him immediately, but he'll be dead in a year.
No, but that's where before they get to that talk around the blood wine, they said, yeah, it was one of my best summations ever.
Yeah.
But he ends up at the end of this in the place for 1 year.
Yeah.
I'm jumping ahead.
The advocate. Yeah, the advocate.
Yeah, but that scene in itself is cool. So he first Archer gets sentenced to Rewatched, which is as good as death. And he said, "Well, where's the justice?"
And when you heard that though, you originally went, "Oh wow, that's from Star Trek 6, right?" Like I totally forgot about this episode. So as I'm going through it, I'm just like, "Oh yeah."
I felt like this episode took the teeth out of it, though. Like when we really got to Rewatched, it was like, this doesn't seem that bad.
Yeah, it seemed a little warmer down there than.
Well, yeah, maybe they're in one of the,
Anyway, it was still good.
deeper layers or something. I don't know.
Like the courtroom seemed like, even though it wasn't as dark and it wasn't as cinematic, it felt pretty cool. I like the courtroom drama here between the advocate and.
I liked how animated the judge was, though. Like,
Yeah.
he was very animated to the point where like he wants to destroy Archer. He doesn't care. He wants him gone. So
Yeah, and the
Well, that's
advocate
what bring on
stands up for him.
justice
It
is
doesn't go
coming.
his way.
well, he's not looking for justice. I think he's just looking to make sure that everybody that's around him is good with the answer, which is like, let's kill him, right?
Right, and then that's what the advocate explains
Yeah.
earlier in the
Yeah,
episode.
it's all
that
about power now. It has
it's
nothing
all-
to do
yeah,
with justice.
It's not about justice anymore.
Yeah, back to.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's the only time you see Trip is this scene.
What do you mean we're not going to save the captain?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do
You just
mean?
know if anybody has the line, what do you mean we're not going to go back for him? It's going to be Trip.
What do you
But-
mean?
But
Mrs.
at least he doesn't protest too much. Like
Yes.
they wrap it up pretty quick.
Yeah, it's pretty calm. It's a pretty calm discussion.
He's starting
compared to normal
to,
ones.
I think, understand that T'Pol is in charge
Yeah.
when Archer is off the ship.
She's like, really?
Well, I mean, she's also going, like, what else are we going to do? Like, there's Klingon ships
Yeah,
everywhere.
you're going to take on the Klingon Empire? Good luck.
Yeah, and it was, it's just kind of like they trust her. Like, there's more of a bond here in this crew now by this point.
But I again, and I've said it many, many times, I really like her progression throughout the seasons because, like, now we're at a point where we know that everybody really trusts her. Where if you look at like even the end of season 1, like people were still like kind of iffy with her.
Well, it's true. When the captain's off the ship, she's in charge.
Yeah. And it's actually the point where everybody's following it now. It's not just everybody trying to go
like,
around her back
Trip
anymore.
protests as much as Riker would,
Yes.
but no more.
Yeah. But the same thing with Riker. When Picard says he's doing something, Riker's like, okay. Like very rarely did he actually go too far with it, right?
Right.
So, but anyway. So here we go. Now this is at light, which is something that we didn't see in Undiscovered Country, because it was always dark there.
Or it was a storm.
Yeah, there was a storm as well. So this is good weather for this. So, but
Well,
I
actually, I don't think we saw a structure in Undiscovered. It was just a hole in the ground they went into.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you also have to remember this could have been covered from the storm, right? Like there could have been an entrance.
I don't disagree. I think that how many years have
but
passed.
that's cool that they put that in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I agree with Dave here. Like this doesn't look terrible. Like it's still shit, but it doesn't look terrible.
It just feels out of place a little bit. It feels a little bit like they're just in like a room of like
to me, this looks like that they knew that this was going to be a set they needed later on down the line, so they kind of redid it to do
this
that.
doesn't look that cold.
That is because they are actually in a room full of artificial.
Yeah. It's all like spray foam.
That's why it looks like that.
Yeah, because that's what it is. It doesn't look good.
They spent too much money on that
use
damn
your imagination
judge
a little
chamber.
bit.
See, Dave, if you didn't have the fancy judge chamber, you would have had this better. They only have a certain amount of money per episode.
Don't forget to hit them with the pain sticks, but it's just like, well, you're in this room with styrofoam. I don't know, like you're at Disney World, and this guy's like an evil Disney guy. Why?
I don't think this is a theme park, Dave.
I don't think it was that bad.
I like how rough Archer looks though. Like he's like unshaven, obviously.
How long was Archer in this place?
A day.
No,
we don't know. They don't
it was
actually
longer
tell us,
because
right?
it was long enough that like when
He grew a
Reed
beard.
shows up at the end, he goes, "New guys are coming in." He was all excited. So long enough, he had seen a few new guys come in.
The new guys are coming. Oh.
And I think the lighting that they've chosen,
Fresh fish.
it's too lit up in this as well. I think
Yeah,
it
it could have been a little darker.
There's way too many
Archer
lights.
becomes
in
one of the sisters.
Yeah. you want to hold it in my pocket? No. And like Archer was all like, "No, you don't touch my boy here, Kolos." And he's like, "Are all humans like you? What do you mean? Stupid."
Yeah, stupid. Yeah.
That was awesome.
That was really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the only complaint I have about this episode is literally this ending is again, as Kevin has told us time and time again, a little too fast. Right? Like we never find out what happens to the advocate. now that we like the Advocate.
Well,
I know he's going to be here, but he'll probably die.
He chooses to stay behind at the end here because obviously
I love his speech when he stays, like the I'm staying because I can't serve my people while I'm on the run and I can't change things. Like it was a really good final speech. At least that's something of an ending.
True, and it makes me think that he does get out of there a year later.
That's a great screenshot, though. Go back.
Huh?
One more. There you go. See, that's the exact face I have every time Malcolm jumps on the screen.
Yeah, exactly. So here's my one
Why
problem.
are you here?
You are my salvation, Malcolm. Are you serious?
Yeah, this is who they sent.
Yeah,
Malcolm.
You're the best Earth has to offer.
Well, supposedly he is the highest trained combat officer on the ship.
Yeah,
right?
I feel like Trip would have found a way down.
This is why I like the fact that they bring the what do they call them? The Wacos or Makos. When they bring the Makos in the third season, I think that it's perfect because it's like, you know what? You really are shit. So we're gonna give you a whole team of people that are way better.
But
than you.
They all report to him in the end.
They do report to him, but he's more of a bureaucrat at that point, right? Like he's not really hands on much anymore.
It's like watching a Vietnam movie, and you know that the lieutenant is not so good, and the sergeant's always in charge.
But he's in charge. Yeah,
the British guy is always evil in the movie, right?
Always, every time.
Well, Bashir had that creepy vibe as well,
especially in the American movies,
even though he wasn't
English, always in the British movies too.
Yeah. We got to get this moving along before we lose Dave completely. But anyway, yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. I think I think the speech was fantastic.
Fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, where he was like, you said, like a few courageous people had to stand up and try to reform their society. Do we think he was successful? Do we think he made a difference in the end?
No. We know what the Klingon Empire ends up being, so I'm going to go with probably not that successful.
Think about the Klingon Empire in Kirk's day.
Yeah,
they're worse than this. Even
they're worse than this. Yeah,
they're
far more savage. Yeah.
It's definitely they definitely got a step back.
But he tried, and is that worth it?
Well,
is that notable?
Sure.
It's definitely notable. Yeah,
he could have taken the easy way out and come with him, and
I like Archer's look though at the end though, because Archer's look is like it's just like he's sad to part ways with him, which you get that, and I love this. I love the fact that he goes for a handshake and they do that arm like grabbing thing. Yeah. I love that. And, and Archer's just like, this is weird, but kind of neat.
They could have taken him back to the Enterprise and made him the chief security officer and got rid of Malcolm. That would have been kind of cool.
And then we would finally have a Klingon security officer that's useful.
It's Martok, and we already like him. Instead, like he leaves this like plastic ice cave, and
it's probably spray foam. It's probably not plastic.
It looks so bad.
It looks way too long.
I love the Klingon grins, like the teeth.
Yeah.
Do those look like real bricks to you, like real rocks, like, or do they look like?
Use your imagination. It's
show,
make-believe.
It's crystals.
I know it's make believe, but like you gotta make it look good.
They made most of the episode look good.
All right, let's get out of the cave. Come on, move on.
Well, there is nothing after.
There is nothing after the cave.
This is it. That's it. It's
how it ends, and like that's what I'm telling you. It's a little.
You know what we need though? We need some fun facts.
Well, so I got some.
All right, let's do it.
Oh.
Nope.
Well,
there we go. He's back. There we go. All right, try this again.
All right.
There we go.
The guy
facts with Adam.
Fun facts with Adam.
Oh boy.
I'm not gonna do it.
Thanks, Kevin.
Fuck you, Kevin. All right. Anyway.
All right. So the guy who played the magistrate, his name is J.G. Hertzler.
Okay.
He's J.G. Hertzler. He's got a long TV career. Started in General Hospital back in like 1963, if you can believe it.
I think everybody started in General Hospital.
Bandage his ribs.
But he showed up in some video games. He played a Klingon. Then he was in Deep Space Nine as Martok.
Oh, Martok, you said.
What?
He played as Las. I'm not sure who that character is. He's
a changeling.
Yeah,
We
and
can still win.
Roy Ritterhouse.
Martok. Okay, J.G. Hertzler, one of the great guys ever. Same birthday as me, March 18th. For the record.
And then he was in
Plays
Voyager. He played in several video games, Star Trek video games. And then Dave, you're gonna like this. Most recently on Lower Decks.
He's been a ton on Lower Decks. He was like he played this version of Martok in this video game, and then he was also Drazuli, the Drazuli on the trader guy that was like
Drukmani Captain. Yeah, Drukmani Captain. So
Drumani.
Yeah, very cool.
Anyway, he's been around, this guy.
He's been around.
Okay, so this is Scott Bakula's favorite episode in the whole series.
It's because it's mostly him.
Oh, him.
But he's not his usual annoying self. It was pretty good. So.
There's like a few minutes. There's like a few seconds really for like DePaul and the rest of them.
I would go as far to say this is probably one of the top 10 episodes of Enterprise. Yeah. It's pretty good.
Duras' ship, the IKS Bortas, would, like Duras himself, have a 24th century namesake. The 22nd Duras' commanding ship of that time is something of an irony, since the 24th century Bortas would serve as the flagship of the forces fighting against the House of Duras during the Civil Klingon War.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the disease mentioned by Dr. Phlox, which is xenopolysemitha, is later affected Leonard McCoy in the original series for The World is Hollow and I Have Touched the Sky.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that. That's cool.
Though never stated in the dialogue, the script states that the trial took place on Narendra 3. This, too, is an irony, as explained in Star Trek Next Generation, yesterday's Enterprise. 102 years after Archer's trial, another ship named the Enterprise would be lost, defending the Klingon outpost on a planet from the attack by the Romulan Star Empire. Which
the one that Shooter McGavin was on.
That's right.
Shooter McGavin was on that ship. Yeah.
David Goodman has revealed that he named the Klingon prosecutor Orak after Orak, the computer from Blake's 7 from 1978. I don't even know what that is.
No idea.
Yeah, doesn't ring a bell to me.
Kolos mentioned Archer's good deeds towards the Klingon Empire, seen in Star Trek Enterprise Broken Bow and Enterprise Sleeping Dogs. So there's two things that he's done for the Empire, which should have kept him out of Rurapenthe, in my opinion.
Well, no, because they just wanted to kill everybody.
Yeah.
Didn't matter.
This is the first time in Star Trek chronology that pain sticks and blood wine are seen.
Chronologically speaking.
Yeah.
Yes. The term warrior caste used in this episode has never been used to describe Klingons before, nor has any other caste-based system been previously attributed to them. So this was the whole conversation we had earlier today. It was interesting.
My main is this episode followed up with a good episode, or are we getting a bad episode after this?
I think I've made that clear enough.
Jody made it already clear. Holy crap. Yeah.
Well, it's not the worst episode, but
Horizon?
Yeah. We're not there yet,
all right.
Dave.
So we're moving on, I guess Dave's saying. So let's go on.
Let's go to ratings.
That's going to inform my opinion of this episode.
It shouldn't form your opinion at all. We rate the episode, not the one that comes after it. Anyway, ratings. Bring them up, Dave.
Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Are you ready, Dave?
I don't know if Dave's ready, but I am.
All right.
See if you can get them up on the screen.
Hey, there's a plot hole that I want to point out. Dude, it's never revealed. It's never revealed how Archer was caught by the Klingons to be put on trial in the first place.
Oh yeah.
Let's make a judgment on judgment.
Good point.
All right, let's go.
All right, judgment on judgment.
Jody,
for me, oh shit, I'm gonna give
your
this one
judgment on judgment.
I am going to rule this a 9.5.
Wow,
it's a good episode.
Adam,
9 for me.
9 for Adam. For me, it's a 8.25. 8.3. 8.3.
8.325.
Yeah, 8.325. Kevin?
Good Lord. 9.
9. Wow. Kevin loves Enterprise.
Apparently.
Where's Davin still there? I wonder what he said anything about this episode.
Well,
he
it's got
loves
Klingons in
this
it, so
episode.
it's a
I
10.
would imagine he's at least a 9.
It's a
So.
10 because it's got Klingons in it.
Yeah.
It has a 7.6 on IMDb. It's not rated as high as some other things, but who would you say is this? This is an
The
Archer.
Martok episode.
It's an Archer episode.
Yeah, it's definitely an Archer episode.
Okay, so the next episode is called Horizon. Tell
Yes,
us about
it
that, Jay.
is.
Next time here.
So, unfortunately, this is an episode with Mayweather. While Enterprise diverts to observe an unusual planetary event, Travis Mayweather takes time off to visit his family on a cargo ship where he was born and raised, the Horizon.
Oh, I don't mind this episode.
I already don't like Mayweather, so that could be
Like,
part of the problem.
could there be a worse premise for an episode?
No. Don't go into that.
Yes.
way.
Pinning Malcolm to a hull by a mine.
That's way better.
No, it's not.
The story, Dave, is not bad in this episode. Just push aside Mayweather for a second.
So Mayweather is sad. He's in his room. And then what?
What do they call those?
We're going to talk about it next week.
Descriptions, Dave.
Yeah. We should get the real description and then get Dave's
I'll
view.
give you the real narrations here, and then you'll have to.
There you go. Anyway, Dave, what else do we have on
Oh boy,
the network? So to
Well,
speak?
Jody, do you know that we have a great network here on the United Federation of Podcasts, which
I
we
was
call
aware.
the United Federation of Podcasts.
Wow,
It's got lots of members. It's got all kinds of things. It's got the Live Long and Podcast. It's got the Super Mater Brothers Podcasting. It's got
I know. The problem is you're supposed to be telling the people that don't know.
that's a
All right,
cue.
so
Help me out.
So tomorrow, are you doing Deep Space Nine at 9?
Well, maybe. I have an early morning tomorrow. So
Solid scheduling. All right,
Yeah.
fantastic.
And
And then you also do like Big Brother podcast, Dave.
Not right now. We're doing Survivor
okay.
podcast on Super Mario Brothers Podcasting on Wednesdays. We'll be talking about Survivor 43, episode 4. Do or
Just
die or
gotta
something
keep
like that.
pushing him along. That's the key. Just keep pushing Dave along. What about Star Trek Radio Theater, Dave?
What about it, Jody? Like, it's great. We have like all kinds of. You've been on it. It's all awesome. We have all kinds of great interactions on it, like where people play different parts, and we go, "Hello, I'm Tongarad," right? And then you go, "Hello, I'm Scotty."
Dave, did you sneak off and have more during the podcast? Like,
I think what it was is he did a bunch of
beginning.
massive bowls and then went right on, and as it's progressed, it's hit him, and now he's like,
Okay.
remember, we only advocate
waiting for you
drug
to
use
say
for
cinnamon
people over the
banana.
age of 19.
Yeah, cinnamon banana. And
You
then
said the safe word.
we have the Graphic Histories podcast with Andre,
Oh, Andre, yes.
as well as Locutors of Trek.
Yep.
And X-rated.
Yep.
Mhm.
With Davin.
Davin. Check out Davin stuff. Do you know what Davin?
I know who Davin is.
Awesome.
All right, tell you what.
Podcast.
Let's just sum
All
this one
right,
up,
everything
guys.
else is on the internet. Find it.
You know what? You want to find out something? Go hit our Facebook page, Live Long and Podcast, and you can find us on Twitch and other things. And stuff.
Facebook,
Yeah, I
YouTube,
already said that.
Twitch,
Yeah.
Instagram, TikTok.
Even
I was
TikTok.
in the TikTok just
You know
yesterday.
where to find it already.
Jane's cousins were like, "Hey, do you want to be in a TikTok?" I was like, "Yes," and they're like, "What do you want to do?" And they're just like, "Do this thing." I was like, "Okay." And then I'm in a TikTok somewhere. Who knows what I'm doing? It
Well, I
might have
hope
gone
you
viral.
Like you do.
Seems logical. Anyway. All right, gentlemen. Well, as I said, I am thankful on this Thanksgiving Day to have all of you.
What a judgment.
And it was a great episode, so I'm thankful for that as well. And I'm thankful for Star Trek. So there you go. Anybody else thankful for anything?
I'm thankful. I'm thankful for you, Jody.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
you're the hostest with the mostest.
All right, let's get going
Okay,
here
let's
before we have to edit half of this. All right, play us out, Dave.
All right.
Enjoyed your company as always, but it appears it is time we said